introduce shock or friction to it, then it explodes. It detonates very, very rapidly. This is actually stronger than TNT.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to a brand new episode to start out the year of C4 Table Talk, man. It's been a minute, but we back better than ever to start out the new year. You already know who it is. It's your boy Mari, and with me, as always, I got the boys with me. We got that boy Dave in the building.
What's good, everybody? Been a minute.
We got that boy B Shaw in the building.
What it do, y'all?
And last but not least, we got that boy Luke in the building.
Yo, what it do, flight crew?
And today, man, y'all already know. If y'all have been with us before, y'all already know we got a good episode for y'all. Another review, a Marvel review at that, with the new Captain America Brave New World. Just came out. I went and saw it Thursday. And you know, this movie, man. This movie. We're gonna get into it. I feel like there's gonna be lots to say about this, especially from that man David, who's been critical of the MCU since the start of this new phase. So, if y'all been with us, we kind of kick it out with some IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows since I think everybody's looked. So I'm gonna just say them. But since the last time I checked, it actually went up a little bit. So IMDb is at a 6.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it. The critics have it at a 50%, and the audience score is 80%. And that's as of like a couple hours ago when I checked too. Which I would say, like, critics is always gonna be critics, bro. I don't get it. Like, who is rating these movies?
My thing about the critics is they may be basing it off of what we saw. It's kind of like, how do they reach that height again? I don't know if they per se will, but I don't think that discredits it
Like,
from being a good movie. Because I agree more
like,
with the 80% than the 50%.
like, is it like, are they just random people that don't know nothing about the comics, or is it like people that like read the comics? It's like, bro, how do you like? I just feel like critics are always going to be harder on superhero movies.
I don't know, man. I feel like they should use the same criteria they use for every other movie to rate the movie, regardless of what genre it is.
True. Because don't like animated movies get rated like by critics pretty low? And it's like it's an animated movie for a kid. Like, how are you?
But some have really good scores, so I don't really know how they
Yeah.
judge it from that.
But yeah, so far, after 4 days of being out, this movie has made 100 million in the US, 192 million globally in the box office, and the budget for the movie was 180 million. So that's not bad. That's not terrible numbers there. We'll
So
say that.
you're saying like they made 190 US, then like a plus 192?
Yeah, so they made
Okay.
100 million in the US and then 192 million globally.
Oh, you said 100. Okay, gotcha.
And it's only been 4 days. That's only for like the weekend. So I'm assuming they're including Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for that.
Gotcha.
Which I'm sure that number will probably go up and it'll cap probably at like in the US I would give maybe 115 ish at the cap.
It's not terrible.
I don't know how they usually rate second and third weeks, to be honest with you. I know it's probably drastically lower, but
Yeah, probably. But anyways, man, getting into our own ratings and a little bit of our thoughts before we deep dive into a little bit more into the movie. Let's start with Lucas. What did you think of this movie?
oh, uh, It was good. I enjoyed it. I will say, and Dave caught me doing this. There were definitely some parts that were a lot of monologue, a lot of talking, not a lot of getting to the action. So there were a few parts where the eyes got a little heavy. But I think, especially towards the end, I thought it was solid fighting scenes. Good story overall. It was interesting because like I saw some rumors saying like the Red Hulk was barely in the movie. I think he was in it enough. You know, that was a good little fight scene. Uh, but yeah, and then I think it finally got us started to like where are we heading. We finally got that answer with this movie. I feel like with him being asked to build the Avengers again, and him at the end kind of saying like we got to do this. Um, and then kind of what I forgot the villain's name is, but his kind of post credit end scene that was very interesting. Might give us what the plot is to the upcoming Avengers movies are.
Yeah, I definitely I will say for me, I definitely kind of like enjoyed this movie. It definitely was like a little bit more dialogue than action, but I feel like when they threw in the action hit. Like it hit to what it needed to be. We got the big action scene we needed. I feel like the dialogue was good. I really like the dialogue between the conversation he had with Bucky, which I'll kind of like get into a little bit more. I thought that was like really good, and overall, I enjoyed this movie. Like you said, I don't think there was too much Red Hulk. I feel like the Red Hulk came in at the right time. We saw the little bit amount that we needed to see. That was good. It didn't take away from like the rest of the movie and Captain America and everything. So I would say out of 10, I would give this movie a good like high 7, 7.9 to an 8. Uh, and I get a little bit deeper into why I gave it those ratings. So
Before they go, I say about 7.5, 8. Yeah, I give it around there. It's a solid movie.
Brandon, what you think, my brother?
I'm gonna say what I said to David in the car on our way to the car afterwards. It was alright, you know. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't. I mean, it's not like one of those movies where it's like, oh my god, I need to see that again. It was just like it was a good movie. Like I would give it probably like a 7-ish, like you know, like in that C range. It was a solid movie. I think it gave a little bit more of like where it's going, but then again, what do we need the Avengers for? Why do you want them to come back together now? Why does it even matter now? Because you're no longer the president because you just turned yourself into Red Hulk. Um, are we going to see you again maybe at some point, Red Hulk? Could he be of use in some area? Even, what's his name? The brain dude. He honestly could be of some use at some point, too. I think he might come back for some unknown reason. Be a part of this new Avengers. Also, what Avengers? Who are we involving in this?
That is true.
Who is he supposed to get? Who do you want?
That's kind of a question that I have later on that I feel like we'll probably get into a little bit, but I want to hear what Mr. David Clark has to say.
The movie was decent. I'm gonna give it a nice little 7.5 ish.
You know, that's like
going up a little bit. You feel me? I went into this movie with absolutely no expectations, and I think that helped a lot because I had nothing. I didn't want to base it off nothing. I didn't want to try to like envision like what it could potentially be. I just went in there, watched the movie, took it in for what it was, and that's what it was. So I feel like that really helped me when watching this movie. It was decent overall. Action was good. I liked the stuff that was going on. The stuff, how to utilize the characters, and But yeah, like you already said, when the action hit, it did hit. They were using like moves specific only for that somebody with that Falcon suit could do and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And like I like how they utilize the vibranium and the shield all together. Like he was really being smart with it, and it was dope. And it kind of like showed how he leveled up as a hero. His skills got better. Like the way he was fighting was next level. We ain't never seen him fight like that. You know what I mean?
Ain't never see that boy fight like that.
Man.
Hey, like he really took on a Red Hawk and did okay. Held his own, I should
Facts.
say. What's that?
Human.
Yeah.
No serum.
That is true. No serum.
Them wings
Like,
went
those,
crazy though.
Needed to.
Yeah.
Because you'd have been dead.
And something else we didn't talk about either was like that new I don't know how to pronounce it, but
adamantium.
that'll be used in future movies for sure. I'm interested to see how dope that is compared to vibranium.
Yeah, we'll get into adamantium too.
I'm about to say,
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. But I will say, kind of just like going through to start this movie. One thing I will say that was kind of interesting, and I don't know if this was like a director's choice to do this, but the Marvel's studio logo wasn't the normal of what we got. It was different. So I don't know if that means like we're in like a new different age or he just wanted to like use it that way. But I kind of like saw that and I was like, it's kind of interesting. I wonder why they did that. Or maybe that's gonna like insinuate to something in the future of like maybe that's gonna distinguish like what universes we're in. So I don't know. It's something I feel like it's something to maybe look out for, maybe not. But I kind of thought that was interesting.
To be
With
honest, I didn't even peep that. Now that you say it, though, that they did introduce
yeah,
it with the Marvel comic thing going through it. Oh man, that's dope.
it just said Marvel Studios presents, and then it just went into us seeing Thaddeus Ross
That's crazy.
and together, and then ended up getting the title for the movie. But I will say, I kind of like that though. I like that you just kind of just like went straight into the movie, like got right to it. Because I feel like sometimes they like do that big Marvel Studio sign, and it's like a slow build up to get into the movie. Like, let's just get straight to it, you know. And then this movie is set because I feel like this is important to start paying attention to. And I found out that it's set in April of 2027. So this was 2 years after Falcon and the Winter Soldier movie series, which would have been what 2025, which would have been I get yeah. So this movie is set in 2027. So going forward, I feel like that's the time when most of these movies now will be set of like what we see, which is
I mean, maybe
kind of crazy.
they could still probably jump around a little bit
Yeah, I feel like they
depending
definitely
on who it
can.
is.
Yeah, but I feel like with a Spider-Man movie or even with like Thunderbolts, which is coming out in May, like I feel like those movies are gonna be probably set in 2027, probably maybe like 2028 the year. Because then that means, oh shoot, thinking about that, that means Deadpool and Wolverine. That was years after. That was like, what did they say in that movie? Was it like 2025 or something like that?
Bro, I have no. I know Logan was in 2025, I believe. So I feel like it had to be after that. So we probably around in the same time frame.
Yeah. But anyways, I want to open it up, getting into each kind of character a little bit. Seeing Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, man. I like seeing him in this movie in a different light. Especially him being Captain America. I like that we didn't spend that time seeing him like learn how to use the shield and everything like that. And that got taken care of in like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I just like seeing him as Cap in this. And I think there's a lot of realism with it of like seeing him actually struggle, like fighting these people without any serum. Like he's Captain America with no serum. and is out here getting cut, beat up, and literally
Stabbed.
stabbed, everything.
Yeah. How's he
And having
surviving
to
that?
get pat.
That kind of tied into what Bucky said when they were talking. That Steve was like somebody they can like put their dream on because there's something that they couldn't really achieve by themselves. But Sam is someone they can aspire to be like because he's human just like them. You feel me? So like,
And then the full circle moment of that was the Falcon at the end when he was hurt, saying, I inspired to be you, the Falcon." That full circle moment for him.
Yeah.
Hey, and earlier that question was, when did Deadpool and Wolverine take place? Is that what we were asking?
Yeah. Yeah.
They said 2024.
Okay. So it's 3 years.
3 years
3
early.
years before
Yep.
this. Interesting. Have to see how they end up tying that. But yeah, man, I kind of like seeing that realism, the struggles without the serum. Kind of like Dave mentioned, I did like the fighting style. I liked how he used the shield and the vibranium wings. Like when when Hulk was like punching him, he had like the wings around him with the shield, like covering kind of like the little weak spot point. I like that he's using the gear that he's got from Wakanda. I mean, definitely feels fitting for sure. I like the way that he uses it actually, like especially like with the wings, being able to like use those wings to like cut stuff, and then the way that he just like kind of like goes from like flying straight into his moves with like the shield and everything. I definitely like that, and I think a big thing is just seeing him kind of like be his own Captain America. You know, especially with like what he says, kind of like what he does. Um, even with like the line that Thaddeus Ross said of like, "You're not Steve Rogers" and everything like that, and it's like, not that. He's Sam. You know what I'm saying? He got to do his own thing, make his own what do you say, like legacy with being Captain America. So
I definitely think his fighting style was smooth. I'll be interested to see what his wings are made out of in this next movie we see him in. So it's probably not going to be vibranium anymore. Not if this new one is stronger, more powerful.
They haven't started mining it yet. That's gonna be interesting to see what happens though. Like who takes control of production of that?
But here's my thing though, and Dave, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, but isn't like, I think we talked about it before, and I think this might have been because they couldn't use some of the mutant stuff and Fox and everything like that. Because we was talking about like vibranium and it being like strong and ever. But which one actually is stronger? Because in the movie they say that adamantium's stronger than vibranium, but how do they know that if they haven't used it?
They're probably just looking up the density of it, like scientists do, or whatever. But it's like it's different. Adamantium as itself is stronger, but vibranium, the properties of vibranium, it absorbs kinetic energy, right? So it's strong still, but it also takes the energy away from whatever's hitting it, which makes it like, I guess, seem stronger. But adamantium is just raw, like dense, strong material. Yeah, it's a difference. And it's heavier, as we've seen with a character that has it in the MCU. So,
but yeah, that's kind of like what I thought too, and I like how like with this, like even with him kind of like finding his own way and being Captain America in his own light, um, it's still like good because it's showing like it's just like showing like how much of the decision that like Steve Rogers made to pick him to be Captain America was like such the right decision because he has so many like core principles of Captain America in him that we like just see throughout the movie of like not giving up, like not leaving somebody behind, like always, defending the people that he loves, especially with like Isaiah Bradley. Um, and then also with that, being able to just try to find like the best way to like solve a solution and just always being on top of stuff is just like that's who Captain America is. That's what the embodiment of it is, and being a new symbol for America. But it's just being a black guy in the suit, which, like he said, he gotta stay on point so he can. So there's always a seat at the table. Like that. That's deep, and I don't think like a lot of people don't get that. What do you mean by that? Gotta stay on top of everything because he can't. There's already a lot of pressure on him, so he can't mess up. If he mess up, he gonna get judged heavy, and
You're not like
gonna
the
lose
other
face.
Cap.
Yeah,
That's how it should be though. Like, if you're a hero and you got people's lives in your hand, bro, like you gotta be locked in at all times. Like one small mistake can cost somebody their life. And
that's true.
with the embodiment of what Captain America is, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna pick the people's lives over whatever.
But is it fair to there be a heavier burden on Sam and taking on the mantle of Captain America because he's black compared to like Steve Rogers being Captain America?
Heavier burden, not necessarily. The burden will be the same, but like the way people receive him will most definitely be different. People not gonna like that. That was like the whole purpose of like the Winter Soldier with Isaiah. He was mentioning that they're never gonna let a black man be Captain America and stuff like that. It's gonna be tougher to accept, but I feel like the burden as a whole of like what Captain America has to do and who he is pretty much the same.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I really like that conversation with Bucky when he was just like saying he should have took the serum, but he didn't. And Bucky's like, bro, Steve had the serum and still lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, serum doesn't make you better. Like, you can still lose. Just be you. Be Sam.
But
Be
let's be
who you
real
are.
here.
I ain't gonna lie. I bet Sam did kind of want that serum
Oh
because
yeah.
his body was probably going through it.
But let's be
And
real,
it would
bro.
have helped.
If you're doing that job and you have the opportunity to enhance your body to make you even better, increase your chances of survival, increase your chances of successful missions.
But it's like Bucky said though, like you can still lose
Oh,
even with
facts.
having that. You like
Facts.
so it's like, is it really worth it? Like in the end, because you kind of like see it with like how Steve was and like him wanting to have an actual life, like living with Peggy and growing old and everything.
He got that with the serum.
Yeah,
And but
eventually.
look, the serum, what you gonna heal faster? That's a plus. You know what I'm saying? Less susceptible to poison. That's a plus. Stronger, faster. You can think faster. All that, like everything is just more enhanced. Granted, you don't need it. He don't need it. But will it help? Absolutely. Will you still possibly
Definitely.
lose? Sure. But it's definitely gonna increase your chances.
You think he won't take it because he doesn't want to, like, not age? Like, you think he still wants to live like a normal life, quote unquote?
They kind of like mentioned this a little bit because this was kind of like in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He got offered to take it, but he didn't. And if I remember correctly, he didn't take it because of the conversation he had with Isaiah Bradley. Because that was kind of like the whole thing of Falcon and Winter Soldier was like him, whether or not he was gonna like take the serum and like take on the mantle because of like how much pressure it was and like everything like that. So he had like a lot of contemplating to do, and that was like pretty much kind of like what it was. But then also other stuff going into that series. But then eventually he ended up like taking on the mantle and learning how to use the shield and everything, and like getting accustomed to this new like mantle that he was taking on. So
It's a lot of pressure though. I'm not gonna lie though, in that world, I think I'm taking it personally. Because you gotta think, he did good without it. He did. But when he didn't have his suit, the struggle was a lot. It was there. It was, you can see that like suit with the suit without the suit. This, you know what I'm saying? Cap could have did whatever he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it because he had the serum.
that's true. But I mean, the suit really is just having like the wings. I feel like for the most part he had the shield with him. Besides like the one part when he was fighting the serpent, the leader of like the serpent society.
Exactly.
And he still, bro, he still jumped up and
I just feel like, you feel me? I hear you. But I just feel like that stab, when he got stabbed,
hit that boy in the chest and
I feel
kicked him
like
straight into the car.
That stab would have been avoided a little bit better.
But I think he has.
He would have reacted faster to him shooting that gun when he was turned around. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it will help. All I'm saying is it will help. He did very good without it, but with it, he would do better.
I think he had like something on underneath.
He did.
Like something.
I hope so.
Like that.
But why are we not maximizing our potential here? Yeah, we can wear armor, but we can be super too. That's plus.
A superhuman.
We super safe.
It's true. Hey,
I'm just saying.
He got the Wakandans, bro. The Wakandans hooked him up with that gear.
Shit.
Got the wings.
Black Panther had a super soldier.
Well, he had the herb of the Panther.
Same difference.
That's different.
Same exact difference.
Hey, who knows, man? I don't know. But what else we think of Sam, this new Captain America, and what he did in this movie?
I mean, he did some cool stuff. I'm not gonna lie. There was some dope scenes. The way he utilized the shield, it was hard.
Yeah, like we said.
Yeah, he has to do it a different way. He has to. He can't do it he can't be like Cap because he's not Cap.
Not at all. He showed us
he ain't Cap. He got wings.
Got wings.
Hold their own. And the wings, yeah, they do a lot.
The wings are hard.
They did a lot of slicing and dicing in that.
But if you get your wings cut and you fall into the water, say no.
I ain't gonna lie, I do like the combinations that we saw with them of like using the wings and then not using the wings, and then also like the way that he was using the shield and still being
he got some hard combo moves.
Facts.
He was using
that shield went crazy,
hitting the up, down, left, right, X, Y, A, B.
Yeah, no. The way he learned how to use that shield. Not, I wouldn't say quickly in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. It took him a while, but like until that boy got it down pat now.
You got to.
All about them angles.
Well, that's a job. You pretty much got to be perfect,
bro. Throwing that heavy
every time you go to work.
Yeah, that man's like biceps and forearm muscles to the max. Throwing that bad boy. Probably be hitting arm day every day.
He does look like he hit a lot of arms for this movie. Not a lot of legs.
He does look a little bit bigger.
His upper body is looking quite a bit bigger than his lower half.
It still worked though. The way he kicked Buddy in the chest.
Facts.
Boom! Sent them flying into that car.
Like his chest and shoulders definitely looked bigger.
Probably have to, bro. Throwing that shield. That shield's gotta be heavy. With it being made out of vibranium.
It's light. If it was made out of adamantium, it would have been heavy though. That's the difference.
True. Is it made out of vibranium in the comics, or is it adamantium?
It's both. It's a mixture.
Dog, that's a heavy shield, bro. That is a heavy shield to be carrying around. Should have had. Hey, I would have asked for them claws that he got in Wakanda. Put them bad boys on.
To be his talons. The Falcon's talons. Falcon claw.
They're gonna have me carry the heavy shield around. Yeah, man. We touched on the conversation with Bucky. I ain't gonna lie, Isaiah Bradley in this was pretty good. I liked the actors like performance in it. It was good to me, but the one scene, bro, when he was like being mind controlled, that boy jumped through that White House window and was moving. He was hitting them, he got them knees up, bro.
But what I noticed though, it's what I liked was realistic. Is like he still had that old man run, even though he was moving.
Facts.
Like he sees it.
That boy had them knees up. That scene right there, I was like, hey, that boy kind of moving. He wasn't moving that fast, but like Sam was still there. But he hit the that get out run. When that yard worker and get out, he was running through the grass at night.
Yeah.
But then
that was funny.
Let's see what else we got to touch on. Oh, the new Falcon. How do we feel about that? New young guy taking on the mantle as the Falcon.
That boy a yapper.
Big yapper. Man was talking the whole movie.
No, he got potential though. Young and hungry.
Something to prove.
Something to prove.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool, especially with like the abilities to be able to kind of like hack like technology and be able to get into different systems and stuff. Definitely be useful, I feel like. But I like how they went with a younger casting though. I feel like that's interesting. Maybe somebody that can play the role for a couple more years.
It'll be nice seeing him in his new, what I'm assuming will be vibranium gear next time. Talking about wanting some Wakandan gear.
The meeting Ant-Man.
Facts.
Now let's get into kind of the second main character of this, I feel like, with Thaddeus Ross. And let's just talk about Thaddeus Ross in the movie and his struggles, and then kind of get into the Red Hulk. I think Harrison Ford did a really good job coming in and having to play that character, especially after the actor died, I believe, like a few years ago. I kind of like the line of Sam saying he's got to get used to the new look. I think that was kind of like a funny like thing to throw in there because it is like a new actor playing that same role, but it's the same person. It's supposed to be the same person that they're used to seeing all the time in that universe. So that was pretty good. But I think for me, the biggest thing that stood out was his battle with like trying to build a new reputation and be like seen for like who he is now, not for like who he used to be. Especially back to like, was it the 2008 Incredible Hulk?
To tie in with that, what stood out to me is how ironic it is for him to be attacked by everybody because he's a monster destroying stuff. A angry monster, a big angry monster destroying stuff. I find that very ironic how he was on the other side of that now when he was the one chasing the Hulk this entire time, doing the exact same thing that they were doing to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that.
Is it not weird that he was doing that and then still decided that I want to be a Hulk now too. Like,
Well, I don't think it
The
was
leader,
necessarily.
the
Yeah, the
the
leader kind of like turned him into the Red Hulk without him really knowing, because he was just taking those pills for like his heart, because he had like the heart problems or whatever. So he thought it was just regular heart medication, but he was getting fed small amounts of gamma radiation for who knows how many years.
Dependent on those. That's crazy.
dependent.
Turning him into a monster thing.
You know, I like the performance though. I like some of the dialogue, some of the lines that um he had in the movie. But I definitely like the theme of just like trying to set. I feel like there's like a theme in this with like getting rid of like the old of what we used to know and see to like accepting who these characters are now and like how they're building new legacies. Because I feel like that was like a theme with like, you know, seeing Sam as like Captain America. Like we can't view him as Steve Rogers Captain America. And I feel like that goes like the same with like this movie. We can't view it the same as the movies before because this is entirely different Captain America that we're seeing coming into light, building his own, you know, new legacy. And that's kind of what Thaddeus Ross was doing was like, yo, like, yeah, that's what I did in the past, but that's not me anymore. I'm trying to move on, you know, rebuild that relationship with his daughter and everything. So it's just like one of those things that I feel like was highlighted well by the writers.
a good little
Yeah.
message, being that message of even if you did wrongs in your past, you can still correct yourself in the future.
Facts. And I know you touched on it earlier, but I feel like Harrison Ford did a really good job acting in this as well. I feel like he did a good job in a few movies recently, or a few movies / shows.
Now, getting a little bit into the Red Hulk. Hey, Marvel, good job with the CGI. I don't know if it was just me, but I definitely could see a difference between this Red Hulk and like the Hulk that we're used to seeing. Like I can tell that they took the time, went in, added the detail to this Red Hulk and made him like not only like comic book accurate, but like definitely could tell they're like, okay, we need to get back into what we're you know known for, good at, and make this stuff look good. So that was like the one big thing that I've noticed.
CGI was very good, as it should be, as it should be at this point of our lives. Um, I just wonder if like what they're going to do with this character moving forward. Is he going to be very close to what he is in the comics, what he can do, stuff like that. But it's always cool to be introduced to another character like this and actually be good, have a great first performance. You know what I'm saying? That was pure raw rage and destruction, like a hawk should be, and I love to see it.
And two, I think it wasn't it wasn't like a lot in the sense of like how they usually kind of like introduce these characters to us and kind of like make them look OP and then they like nerf them in like the next movie that we see. Like to me, it's like we didn't really see too much from this Red Hulk, which I feel was like perfect. Like you saw like the details, bro, of like his eyes, like literally like red, like fiery red of like the fire of how like he's supposed to be. Because essentially he's like he's different than the Hulk. His skin can be like penetrated, but like he's pretty much just like fire, like pure rage. And like his skin is just hot, like boiling. And it's like you kind of saw that with him tearing through the clothes and like the cloth on his shoulder like disintegrating and stuff like that. So I think they did a good job. Um I actually made the Hulk like look like real with the destruction that he was doing. Like jumping off of the White House and the White House literally like that part collapsing and him like actually bounding through the airs like he's supposed to be.
Bro,
Like
he was
that's the Hulk that we know.
that boy was moving. That was
He got
crazy.
that little thunderclap too and destroy everything in the area.
And two, you could tell like how hard he was punching when he punched Cap in the wings and he like filled with the kinetic energy and the bad boys was like shaking. I was like, oh, his wings. I'm like, is he about to break
They're not
the
gonna last
wings?
much longer. A couple more hits, it might have been a different ending to the movie.
They ripped that one wing off too.
Bro, I thought he was about to squeeze his head off, bro.
Yeah, that too.
He could have did, bro. He had.
Let's be real. He should have. He should have. Like that. He should have did it like Buddy did. I don't know if y'all remember this in Man of Steel. That one huge Kryptonian. You remember that big dude? When he jumped on the jet, he opened the thing, grabbed the pilot's head, and popped it like that. I'm like, damn. Ooh wee! I glad I don't live in that world.
Bro, I'm glad I don't live in the MCU. Period, bro.
Facts.
I ain't trying to see a big purple nigga pop up out of nowhere, snap his fingers, and nigga I disappear, and then come back. Like what?
You pull up to the gas station with your family, and the Hawk throws your car, and when you went in to get some snacks, it misses the enemy, and they blow up. Terrible. That is terrible.
Bro, I'm not trying to be sitting in class. I'm not trying to be sitting in class. All of a sudden, a Spider-Man villain pop up out of nowhere, and then this nigga Spider-Man pop up. Like, bro, what? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, bro. I get why people hate mutants and hate people with powers. I get it, bro, 100%. That's doing too much. Explosions and stuff, buildings breaking. Like, you can't have no normal life.
That is true. Now, kind of moving to the villain of this movie, Sam Stern, aka the leader. What do we think of this? Because I feel like this was a interesting villain that was different than what we've seen before. So, what are y'all thoughts?
I was going to say it's very similar to what we got the last movie, the last Captain America. We got a manipulator, a genius, pulling the strings from behind the scene to have them fight each other due to their lack of strength. But I mean, I don't mind it though. Like, I love seeing the intellectual aspect of it. Like, there's everything going according to plan. You're not seeing all the pieces at first, but then you start to see the pieces get put together. Like, oh, dang, he did this from the start. Stuff like that. I do like the manipulating aspect of some villains. Yeah, exactly. It's a different type of overpowering strength than like literal physical strength.
Now, do we feel like that might play into? Because I've been seeing like a lot of people split on this movie of saying like, oh, it was like good or it was like, okay, and then people saying that it was bad. Do you feel like maybe the villain played a part in whether or not people determined the movie being good or not? Because it was a little like less action filled of a movie, kind of like more dialogue with kind of having that manipulator of a villain.
Of course. People are always going to complain and people are going to always compare, which is always going to be a problem because you can't make everybody happy, right? But at the same time, like when you do compare it to the other Captain Americas, like Winter Soldier, my personal favorite, Civil War, like come on now, let's be real. Like the action in that was on a completely whole nother level. But like you said earlier on, like this is a completely different Captain America. This is a different style. This is a different version. Everything is different. We can't be comparing. We can't be, you know what I'm saying, putting X against O. Like we just gotta look at it what it is, and then if it's good, it's good. I wouldn't call this movie trash in any aspect. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a very solid movie. Like I enjoyed the parts of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I sat there and enjoyed the movie, right? But there's always gonna be people. Yes, I do think that the villain not being like a superpower, you know what I'm saying, super soldier or something, could have played a part in like people's opinion for sure. Because people like to see we watch superhero movies because we want to see the people use their superpowers, blow stuff up, save people, all that. That's what we want to see as like superhero fans. Like that's what we want to see. The dialogue is needed to build a story, but like we care for the action. Let's be. Am I right or am I wrong? Are we here for the action or what? Like we want to see people box. You know what I'm saying?
Here
Throw
for the
hands.
action. That's for
That
sure.
is true.
That's what I like. Real quick, I just want to say this is kind of off topic, but on topic at the same time. Spider-Man 2 isn't my favorite Spider-Man movie. It is the best Spider-Man movie out of the 3 Tobey Maguire's trilogy, for sure, movie-wise. But it's like, you got a hero that loses their powers. Like, bro, I don't want to see that. I'm here for you to use your powers. That is exactly why I'm here. And now you take them away from me. Great movie, though, for like, as a movie. But, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to see him like fight more and use his powers, swing around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that's like it's like needed though. I feel like you need those movies that are gonna like slow everything down and make you like look at like everything. Because I feel like this movie really kind of like slowed us down and made you think about some stuff. Like we got a big old celestial that's adamantium, and all these countries are trying to get to it. Like, is this like I guess in our historical like history, this is like an arms race for all these countries to try to get this adamantium to try to make weapons and stuff out of it. And then on top of that, there is no Avengers. So if a big threat just pulled up, who is going to protect the whole world or the United States in general? Spider-Man ain't finna do it himself. Captain America ain't finna do it himself. Daredevil ain't finna do it. Like Thor's not there. Captain Marvel's not there. Like it is. I feel like it just
You talking
the
about the
job
heavy
was
hitters?
yeah, like the big
The
heavy
big
hitters. Like
dogs.
we don't have no heavy hitters like that, and it's like we're in a new MCU world. Gotta adjust. There's no Tony Stark. Like, what are we finna do? You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I feel like it's a good question that I feel like they want us to be able to look at going forward, especially with like Thunderbolts and in May, because it real quick, because we're gonna get into Thunderbolts like at the end, but Thunderbolts has like that little asterisk next to it, and like on the posters it says no Avengers available. So where are they? Like,
Also,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no Avengers because of the Sokovia Accord. So it's just like, hey, that decision.
I was telling them this earlier. I was like, if the Thunderbolts are fighting who I think they are fighting, they should lose.
Oh, they're fighting who you think they're who
They
you
should
think
lose
they're
them.
fighting. You're right. They definitely should, but we're gonna see how they pull this one off. Because I agree. I agree with you. Because who they're fighting, that man is OP.
That
But
come out this
also
year?
yeah, it comes out in May.
That in Fantastic Four.
May like 12th or like 20th or something like that, around there. And then Fantastic Four comes out July 25th.
Okay,
And then I think
start rolling the movies out again.
And I think we get Daredevil 2 this year, which
We do.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I gotta watch the show. I'm behind.
But yeah, I guess we can kind of I guess since we kind of started talking about it, the state of the MCU, no Avengers. Bruh, what are these niggas finna do? Because
you mean what is Cap gonna do?
Who are they going to assemble?
I'm putting together a team. looking. I
Because
can tell you exactly where they're going to assemble. You ready? I'm going to tell you this.
all right, go ahead. I'm gonna see if I agree with this.
Kate Bishop.
Let me stop you right there, brother.
That's who you lead with?
Yeah, brother. That's not happening.
Ironheart.
That's not, bro. That's okay. Keep going, bro.
No, I'll play with you. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens with based off that in credit scene. We're gonna see what they do for that. We're gonna have to bring in some more characters. We're gonna have to bring in some more characters. That's what's gonna have to happen.
I'm gonna tell you who I feel like the main three are gonna be. We're gonna have Cap. We're gonna have Spider-Man. There's gonna be Doctor Strange.
Yes, sir.
I feel like those will be the main three because Doctor Strange isn't on Earth right now, but he's like still in an earthly realm.
He can
So I'm gonna
always
go with
come
those
back.
three. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go with those three, and then I think a new one we might see is Daredevil for a little bit. I don't think he's gonna full on be a full member of the Avengers, but he will be there for a little bit. I think they bring back Ant-Man at some point eventually, and I feel like we get Shuri's Black Panther, but then I think with Doomsday and Secret Wars, I think we get a recast of Black Panther and we see a new Black Panther taking on that role in that mantle.
I would just say this: Spider-Man is a leader, or supposed to be a leader. Let me just say this real quick. Here's my. It's hard for me to see because like Spider-Man as a character is supposed to be like a leader to step up and like lead like a team, right? It was hard for me to see Tom Holland doing that. It is very difficult for me to see that.
We have to see his new Spider-Man since he's finally on his own and he doesn't have Tony Stark holding his hand and fighting all Tony Stark's villains.
For sure.
He gonna mature.
For sure. Like that's 100% correct. Because like if I think about Toby, I can see him leading a team for sure. Just the way his demeanor.
Andrew Garfield leading a team.
Yeah, me either. Tobey Maguire, I can see Tobey Maguire leading a team. But like, from what I've seen so far, I just don't see him leading a team. It just don't seem right. It don't sit well with me. It's like he's just a little kid that just needs to just follow instructions, follow orders until he gets his badges. He getting them badges though. He is getting them badges. For sure. He taking them whippings. You gotta take them whippings in order to get them badges. You gotta get dropped through a couple buildings, you know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy or nothing like that. Couple cars thrown at you.
A couple cars thrown at him.
But you gotta think it's in 2027. It's kind of fast forward. He had time, even more time to mature. So
for sure.
That is true. I'm interested in seeing like what they do and where he will be at in that movie. But I feel like this was good. I like how they showed us though the kind of like the world and where they're at right now because there is no super team to protect them. You know what I'm saying? The Monstars ain't showing up and they're on their own. So, and I think in this time too, I think I hopefully what we will see with like Daredevil and like the Spider-Man movie and maybe a little bit with Thunderbolts is like how much like maybe like the crime rates and stuff is like going up, how they're like having to go out more at night and like during the day and fighting villains and stuff and like keeping like the city safe because the city knows there's no Iron Man. Don't gotta worry about that. Like who is there to protect? Like there's no agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's no S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. I mean, what's his name is there, but not for real. Nick Fury after Secret Invasion. He's kind of there, but not really dealing with the scrolls and stuff. So and that's why I feel like with Thunderbolts, that's why Buddy showed up because he's like, oh, no super team around. And I also would like to see how he uh, got his powers and everything because that's like a super soldier serum, like on steroids experiment, and that's how he got his powers. But at least that's from what I've been like seeing and what I've heard is like that's how he got his like powers and stuff.
We're just gonna have to see what they do.
Speaking of powers, you think old girl gonna be involved too? The former widow. I also asked the question if you think she'll get her own like Disney Plus show to show her
Probably.
origin background.
No, I wouldn't. I don't see them giving her a show because I don't think her character's all that like was all that like interesting where I see them like going somewhere with her because they already have Yelena and we've kind of already got like the backstory on her and have seen her quite a bit throughout the MCU. So it's like you kind of have that Black Widow already filling the
Just gonna assume it's kind of the same.
yeah, kind of like filling that role. I feel like she might be around, but I don't think she will get as big of like a side character role as like seeing like Natasha playing, being Black Widow and everything.
She gonna be like old girl from Shield, like that supervisory role, can step in as needed.
Yeah, that was like with Nick Fury.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, that'll be.
She was like regular. They didn't make her stand out too much. She was like.
She had that one fight scene.
Yeah, one fight, but like I'm about to compare real quick, even though we just talked about comparing. Who cares? Anyways, basically, you got to think about her first time on screen, what she did compared to like Black Widow and Iron Man 2, right? They both had their little fight scenes, but it's like Black Widow. I get Black Widow was about to be on the Avengers, so I get why it was a bigger role and stuff like that. But it was like it's obvious, like there she's here, pretty girl. She can fight. She got a nice suit. She's overcoming happy. She's doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? She's already, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. I didn't get that same vibe from old girl. Yeah, she can fight. Cool. But that suit they gave her, what? Y'all can do better than that.
Yeah, they did hold her a little bit. But yeah, I feel like that's why I said I don't see them like giving her a bigger role than what she already has. I feel like kind of like what Brandon said, she'll kind of have like that background role, kind of being there, when needed and stuff, but not necessarily an essential person going forward. But kind of like I guess getting close to wrapping this up a little bit, but adamantium being stronger than vibranium, and that man Wolverine. Will we end up seeing them kind of like, I guess going forward, will we see them talk about the Celestial being an adamantium more in these films? And will we see the Weapon X program, or think they might wait till after all of this stuff to kind of come back to it once they do the X-Men movie? Because they will be doing that probably not next year or the year after. Maybe 2027, maybe like late 2027, but see them probably doing X-Men early 2028 potentially. But have to wait till what is it? D23 and Comic-Con to see what their next slate of movies are going to be. But what do y'all think about the adamantium and the potential of who we're going to be seeing and what it's going to be bringing to the MCU?
It's gonna bring a lot, bro. A lot of damage. They're fighting over the most. You're gonna have countries fighting over the most indestructible material they have ever laid their eyes upon. Like the amount of the first of all, let me say this real quick. So we got stuff like vibranium, adamantium, indestructible stuff, super dense, super hard to break. How do they mine it? And how do they melt it down and create weapons with it? That's what I never get. I never got that. How is something so indestructible melted down? Like, let's say Wolverine, for an example. Adamantium was melted down and layered over his bones. How?
Melted, shaped.
How, though? So you're saying if we put Wolverine in that same temperature that it was melted down in, he would just melt and die? Is that what we're saying? That's what I don't know. I don't know. It can be just like some comic book magic or something like that. I just don't know. I just always had those type of realistic
Maybe
thoughts.
they got like a special technology or something. I don't know to help them, but who knows? Who knows?
But it's gonna be a game changer with the technology and weapons and stuff, bro. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Come on now.
Wakanda gonna do some crazy stuff with that.
Do you think they're gonna touch it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't know.
They'll probably give it to them. Like here,
all countries get a share.
Here, make
all
me
countries
something.
get a share. It's more than enough for everybody.
Wakanda gonna get paid.
It's way more than enough for everybody.
I think it's kind of interesting because it's like vibranium was like the most sought out thing, and you think to like back to Black Panther and how Buddy was literally like finding it in museums and like selling it and everything like that, and now it's adamantium, and it's like, shoot, Wakanda finna go back to being who they used to be,
or try to level up. Because imagine the combination that both of them can have together. One that can absorb kinetic energy and one's just flat out indestructible.
True.
Imagine that. We talking. Hey, we can go against any world that come. You know what I'm saying? Any aliens that try to, what's up? Pull up. We ready.
I got a little theory. I think they're gonna use this to. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna get put into somebody and kind of create the mutant gene. I think this is how like mutants are gonna get introduced.
So you don't think mutants already exist and are going to come forth from somewhere else, but more so like we are going to start the creation of mutants now, is what you're saying?
I think there already are some mutants, but I think this is gonna be like, I think it's gonna like, they're gonna like use it because they were talking about using it for like medicine. So I think what they're gonna do is like certain people are gonna have reactions to it, and I think it might like kick or turn on their mutant gene to where they discover, oh shoot, like I've had this in me, and it's like now they have like mutant powers because like Namor is a mutant. Who else right now in the MCU is a mutant? I want to say Miss Marvel is, if I remember correctly.
No, not in the MCU. She got her powers from that jet fuel explosion.
No, not Captain Marvel. I'm talking about Miss Marvel.
You did say Miss Marvel, yeah.
I can't remember fully, but yeah, no, there's like Namor, but then there's somebody else in the MCU too that's like a mutant. So we have like 2 mutants right now, and then if Deadpool is a part of it, then I mean you got Deadpool too. So I don't know. I think it's just gonna be one of those things that like it's gonna be used as like a medicine, and it's gonna like just turn on the gene in people because I feel like certain people have it and certain people don't.
That could be the case.
I think that's how we're gonna get the mutants, and that's how it's gonna be introduced.
That could be the case because we go from Deadpool's logic. Everybody has the mutant gene, but everybody's mutant gene doesn't activate. And you saw how much it took for Deadpool's to activate. All that torture and stuff you had to go through to get that. So you could be right in that aspect of it, like the already in place gene being activated with an outside force or something. That could make sense. That could be a thing for sure.
So I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes, but yeah, definitely gonna get that Wolverine Weapon X in the future with the mutants. But kind of like wrapping this up, close out this MCU talk with Thunderbolts because that's gonna be the next film lined up for this year, coming out in May. Um, I think I'm with Dave on this. I'm interested in that movie and seeing how they win because of who they're fighting. I think it will be very interesting to see.
I got an idea of what will happen, but we're just gonna have to see. We shall see. No expectations going into that one as well, or any MCU movie moving forward. I enjoy this. I enjoy not having expectations and just going to watch it. It's better for my mental.
I will say I feel like that's what kills like people's viewings of these movies is because they watch all these trailers that are dropping, and then it's like they go into it with like high expectations. Like, bro, I only watched one trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, and I didn't have high expectations. I've only seen one trailer for Thunderbolts. Just watched the Fantastic Four trailer today, which looked pretty solid. And it's like, hey, I had no high expectations whatsoever. Just go into it, watch it, enjoy it for what it is. Don't compare it to previous MCU movies and Infinity War and Endgame. Like, it's his old movie. It's new MCU, new phase. Just gonna view it as that. But yeah, man, I'm like Yolanda said. Does everyone here just fight and use guns? Yep. How are they about to win? It was actually funny. So all we do is fight and use weapons? Yeah, that's about right.
It'll be interesting for sure.
How are y'all about to win? And no Avengers either. And the person that we're talking about and hinting at is Sentry.
Is who?
And Sentry.
Sentry.
Yeah, he is confirmed to be in that movie. But yeah, if they're able to get that man on our side, hey, when it comes to Secret Wars, got a fighting chance. Because if we don't, who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, overall, Captain America: Brave New World is out right now. I believe we all had similar thoughts on the movie of it being a solid movie and being about 7.5 with, I guess, all of our ratings, which will make it out to be an average movie. Now, my question for Mr. David here is this movie better than the movies we have seen from the MCU in this phase so far? Thinking about what has dropped since Endgame.
Oh, Thor 4, Love and Thunder? Doctor Strange 2? Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Eternals.
Not all of them, but yes. Most of them. It is.
I think I would agree with that too. I mean, I thought some of those movies he thought was bad weren't as bad as he said, but for the most part, I would agree this was one of the better ones they've made so far. Kind of gave us some direction too.
Absolutely. This one actually had like storyline, like something going on. something to look forward to. We're trying to figure out what America is now. What is our world? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and I think we'll start seeing it more like play out, and them kind of going back and kind of answering some of those like post credit scenes that we've seen, and everything kind of like coming to light, and it all kind of looking more like what we're used to seeing, and not being so all over the place and chaotic. So, definitely be good. But I think next episode be a good discussion of that other trailer. Don't know if it was played for y'all's today, but that boy Superman. Oh, y'all didn't see the Superman trailer for y'all's?
Nope.
That Superman trailer? Not gonna lie. That boy James. Open up, it's me, James Gunn.
No expectations.
That boy, that movie looked good. Interested seeing that. So a little Marvel versus DC in the future with that Fantastic Four and Superman film. But we'll save that for another day.
Hopefully it's an actual good battle between the two franchises.
Hopefully. We'll see. But that's what y'all will be hearing next time. Hey man, we know it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Getting back into this. But make sure y'all share the episode with y'all friends and family. And let us know what y'all thought about the movie. And if you made it all the way to the end, go ahead and throw out that spoiler warning because we forgot to do that at the beginning. So hey, look, if you ain't seen it, go watch it. Come back, listen. But hey, share with your friends and family. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Turn on the notification bell. Leave a like. Leave a comment. As always, C4 Table Talk out. Deuces.
See you.
Love it.